When I was 4 years old, me and my mom was threatened by a grown man who had a hatchet. He had a miniature hatchet, and he had slapped my mother. And I remember she used to tell people this story on the phone. She used to say that I literally jumped on his back at 4 years old, and the guy threw me about 5 feet in the air into a wall. And I remember after that, my mom holding me, and she was telling me that it's going to be okay. And his name was Clarence. And Clarence went into the room, and he got his little miniature hatchet, and he grabbed my mom by the collar, and he grabbed me by the collar, and he had the hatchet still in his hand. And he said, if either one of you guys ever put your hands on me again, I'll chop you both up into little bitty pieces and call the police and tell them that I found you here like that. And that type of fear at 4 years old is indescribable, you know. And I knew what death meant at that age. I knew what being killed meant, believe it or not. And so I remember my mom after that, she had got some type of drink, and she kept feeding him the drink, and she was drinking to get him drunk so he would go to sleep. And he finally passed out. And I remember her sneaking into his pockets, and she kept doing this, telling me to be quiet. And I was so scared because I knew if he woke up that he was going to kill us. And she got the keys out of his pocket, and we snuck out the house. I remember walking down the stairs. I actually can remember putting my little arms through my jacket, you know, with my little hood on. And I remember walking down the stairs. We got into the car, and we were driving, and the police pulled us over. And when they pulled us over, they snatched me out of the car. And naturally, a mother's gonna, you know, go a little berserk. You're snatching her 4-year-old son. And they dragged my mom out of the car, and they started beating her with billy clubs. And that was my first experience of the police, you know. So while in prison, I had a very negative attitude towards officers. And that actually cost me, it ended up costing me having to do extra time because of write-ups that I would get. And issues like that you don't really want to think about, or that I didn't really want to think about while doing Shakespeare. And we may be on a certain theme, or you would give us exercises, you know, choose betrayal, or choose a love, you know, an incident where you went through something over love, or violent, or whatever it may have been. And then sometimes I would go into some of my past experiences and use that pain to bring out a character that I was playing. And in that process, I found a healing, you know. I found myself actually healing.